Hi guys, I'm here at my newest listing. Nope, no I'm not. I'm actually here at my new house in Oak Park. If you follow me, you know that I sold my house in River Forest a few months ago and we bought a house in Oak Park. We bought 926 Columbian Avenue, and I'd love to take you along on our journey as we restore this 1927 gem back to its original grandeur. I'd love to take you on a tour today to kind of show you where things are at. We're very, very close to the beginning of our process. We've only been in the house for about 3 weeks. So I'm going to take you through and show you where we're at now, and then I'll take you along as we restore the house all the way back to 1927. Here we go. All right, so here she is on the outside, just to give you some perspective. This house has seen very, very little change since its inception in 1927. Original windows, original trim, original roof, original brick, everything here you see is original. There were 2 large trees in the front yard that we did end up taking out. Oak Park, don't come for me. They were diseased and their large limbs were hanging over the tile roof, which was creating some concern. So we did end up removing the trees, and it does open up the house. You can see a lot more of it now from the street. There is a question about whether those shutters on the sides of those windows are original or not. We're going to endeavor to find out whether they were original or whether they were added. All right, so we do know original builder from 1927, original owners, last name Candy. Pretty interesting. They lived here until 1968. And the Sandvosses bought it in 1968. And the Sandvosses sold it to the Maychruks. So here we are, stepping inside. Entryway, beautiful front door. It's funny that right here next to the front door you would think, oh shoot, that would be like the mailbox, correct? No, that is laundry chute. Right over here is the mail slot sort of thing right here. And actually this is an old door knocker that somebody left for us here. I don't know how original that is, probably not, but we'll see. And then, you know, this is exactly how it was in 1927. Same archways, same wood floors, radiant heat. Those radiator covers may have been added. This has a little feature here that allows you easy access to fill the radiator with water in the wintertime so that you can have some moistness into the air. These are all original double hung windows with the 6 panes over the top. You can see the chains. I'll show you just for a sec. See, the chains are still in the windows. The windows are all functional, and they do have storms and screens on the outside that were probably installed at a later date, but that does give them a little bit more energy efficiency. So don't judge my boxes. Those are light fixtures. You can see that we have no light fixtures. We had the house entirely rewired, and when the electrician was rewiring, he discovered that there were sconces on all these walls. You can see those little holes all the way around. There are six of them in here, and we are going to put sconces back, and an overhead light was also covered up, and now we're going to put an overhead light back. The fireplace is original. I believe that is the original mantle. I think the brick got painted, so we'll see what we decide to do about that, but that's a regular wood burning fireplace. We've got 2 doors flanking the fireplace, and this one in 1946. I don't know if you can see in there, but that is an elevator. In 1946, Mrs. Candy decided to install an elevator, probably because either her or her husband were unable to function in the house, so she added an elevator to the tune of $500. Pretty interesting little fact. Went to the Historical Society and got some cool info. Anyway, that is the living room. So far, so good. In the dining room, again, the electrician found some sconces in the wall there. So there's 2 here, and we have yet a chandelier to put in. And let's head to the kitchen. So we've got a swinging door here. We've got another door here to the kitchen. There's just tons of doors that go into this kitchen. But this kitchen, I think the original kitchen cabinetry is right here, flanking either side of these two windows. And the tile, let me show you the tile behind the stove there. This subway tile with this blue line, this period tile right here surrounded the entire kitchen. You can see it over here. Goes all the way, all the way down to the floor. And the cabinetry on the bottom was an obvious change, probably 50s or so. It's metal cabinetry. There's a radiator underneath the sink, and we added the dishwasher just a couple weeks ago because we just felt like we couldn't function without it, so we were able to squeeze it in there, remove one of the metal cabinets. That's a beautiful Formica countertop there. And then someone along the way replaced the original tile with these 4x4 tiles. Not original at all. So our plan here is to bring the kitchen back to 1927, surrounding the kitchen in those tiles and copying the original cabinetry that we do have left here. You can see here, and you can also see how kind of the detail of how low it goes, the exposed hinge, the doorknobs, the functionality of the way the doors overlap. I would copy all of that detail, and those cabinets go all the way up to the top. There's also a mudroom and pantry here. Probably not going to change too much in that area. The kitchen connects to a breakfast room, or what people would have called a breakfast room in the old days. We aren't really exactly using it at all because, number one, we don't have a table, and number two, we don't eat breakfast. But it does have this built in here. I'm thinking I would definitely save this and somehow incorporate that into the new kitchen, and somehow figure out how to honor this breakfast room space, but also create a more modern flow to this kitchen, but also keeping with the period detail. Oh shoot, I almost forgot to show you. Of course we have the ironing board still intact here. Somebody put a cork board on top here, probably to put all the kids' artwork on it at some point. But it does have the ironing board still in here. So believe it or not, you have an ironing board, full ironing board, and the sleeve ironing board. Look at this, guys. Like, oh my gosh, can you even imagine? Like, this is still here. It's amazing. All right, let's continue the tour, and I'll show you some other spaces that we're trying to figure out what to do. So as you come through this breakfast room, you see there's these two French doors that go into this space right here, which looks nothing like 1927. This was a porch at one point, like just an open porch. So this room has lots of challenges. It does have the back of the fireplace here, and here, let me show you the other side, is the elevator. I can open up a little bit and show you the elevator. This is like legit elevator. It does work. So we're a little bit perplexed about what to do with the elevator because it's not an original feature, but it is a cool feature. And it is part of the history of the house, so we'll see. And then you can see here a little bit that this is the back of the house. So this space right here was really the end of the house, and then what is now being used as a little family room was actually a porch. All right, I did miss one other room on this floor that I think is really critical, and that is the powder room. We have an original powder room here. Again, the exact same tile being used here as in the kitchen. It's all in pretty good shape. There's a few tiles here that are not great. The original floor tile here too. Not an original toilet, but almost certainly an original sink. Almost certainly an original medicine cabinet and light fixture there. So going to try and preserve all of these things and maybe look for a toilet that's a little more appropriate. All right, let's head upstairs. So up here on the second level, we really haven't done anything because these are bedrooms. So the only thing you'll see here is everything has been rewired, and so we are replacing light fixtures, looking for period appropriate light fixtures. This is the exact same space as that family room below. This is being used by my husband as an office right now. So, and then here is the elevator again. So just a very, very cool detail. I'm not sure. You guys, tell me what you think. What should we do with the elevator? That's the question. And this space. So this space is kind of awkward to get to because you have to walk from this bedroom. You see what I'm saying? Walk through the bedroom into the office. So we are trying to think of a way to maybe open up this window and making that a door so that you can go directly into that space and make it a more separate office. But otherwise, these are bedrooms. Nothing really has happened here. Again, just the rewiring and light fixtures. Here you'll notice we have a shower curtain on the bathroom door. That is because we have sent our bathroom doors out to be stripped and completely restored to their original. So we anticipate getting those back in a couple of weeks, and the man that's doing them, Lyle Zimbler, will be eventually taking all of the doors and refinishing all of them. This is the primary bedroom. This is a very spacious, very large room. Again, we found sconces in this room. So there are 6 sconces in here that we're going to be adding, and another overhead that was also buried in the ceiling. This one has an ensuite bathroom. It's a very petite ensuite bath, but it is original, so we are struggling with what to do. You can also see that it has a window that looks out into my husband's office. This is a little bit awkward, you know, you can see. So we have to figure out what to do there. But again, the tile, the sink, the shower is all original. It actually has, see all these sprayer heads in the wall here. Those are original as well. It's quite amazing the level of grandeur this house has for 1927. Whomever was the builder, the Candys, or the original owners, absolutely had a lot of money and did very nice things with this house. All right, let's go down to the basement. I'll show you what we've been doing down there. All right, here we are. Now, the basement has seen some updating. Again, because we rewired, we asked the electrician to add some lighting down here. We removed all of the there were some divider walls down here. So we took all of those out and just opened up the whole space so that we could really use it just as a storage space. The other thing we did, you might remember if you saw the pictures, all of these heating pipes running throughout the basement were covered in asbestos. So all of those pipes. So we had all of the asbestos removed so that we have, so that we feel comfortable being in the house and not worrying about mesothelioma. All right, that's a serious thing. So I can show you the electrical panels here. We now have 400 amps of power, and that's because we needed to run, there's one panel and then a second panel here, but we needed 200 amps in our garage because of my husband's electric vehicle, and I think Oak Park code now is requiring 200 amps in a garage and 200 amps for the house. All right, just quick here. The back of the basement door gives you an idea of what the doors will look like refinished. This is the original color. This is birch, and then you can see it has the brass hardware with the crystal knobs. Restored, I think they're gonna look absolutely stunning. All right, that should catch you up for now. Again, this is now mid-July. We've been in the house for about 3 weeks, so we've done electrical rewiring. We've done asbestos removal. We've uncovered some sconces and some overhead lighting that we're gonna put back. And we are mulling around what we should do with the primary bathroom and how we should configure the kitchen and connect it to what is now kind of a porch / family room space. Also noodling the elevator. Not sure what to do about the elevator. So stay tuned. I'm gonna be meeting with Rachel at the Historical Society to get all kinds of information about the house. And I'm going to be meeting with the tile contractor, plumbers, and all kinds of trades to take you through this process with us. So stay tuned for the next time. Thanks.